Welcome to today's membership panel. Fall in love with your memberships. I'm Melody Johnson. I am the founder of The Course Consultant, and I'm so excited today to bring on a very exclusive panel to today's session. We're going to be talking all about how to create a membership that's low effort for you and still magical for your members. And so today I have some really awesome and fun guests that I want to share and bring onto today's virtual stage. And I'm very excited to introduce you to all of these guests, which I'll be bringing on in just a few minutes. So if you're here for the very first time, make sure that you like and subscribe and join me for lots of training videos all about memberships and growing your recurring revenue. Firstly, I do want to share some really cool people today. And the first guest that I have that we'll be bringing on to the stage is Marissa Loewen. Marissa is the founder of the Create the Rules Catalyst and the Profit Plan. As a membership owner, Marissa knows exactly how to help price your programs for profit no matter your business size. And today we also have some other cool folks that are joining us today. Lara helps coaches who want to go from launching messy or last minute with little or big leaks of time, money, and energy to developing the leadership and systems to run launches that feel more energized, organized, and generate more profit. I know we could all use some more profit in our businesses. So I also have Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is a Facebook ad strategist and agency owner. Jackie can share with you all the systems you need to scale your membership using Facebook ads. Dr. Jackie is also another educator, which I love seeing, and it's so exciting to bring her on stage. And of course, we also have Sam Burmeister is amazing at writing friggin' good sales copy. She writes launch and branding copy for service-based businesses and has a membership where she helps people write their own high-converted copy. Yes, it's so good. You really should join. And we also have another amazing guest, and that's Sarah. I met Sarah on TikTok, of all places, just scrolling around. We connected up on Instagram, and we have been in a couple of collaborations since. And I'm so excited to have a guest expert on TikTok. Sarah is a social media strategist specializing in short form video marketing, especially TikToks. She helps her clients get visible on social so they can get more leads and make more sales. When she's not nailing it on video, she loves cuddling with her dogs, going to wineries with her fiance, and binging a good episode of Summer House. Oh my goodness, it's just so cool to see so many amazing folks here today. I am so excited to see you all today here. Thank you so much for being on today's panel.
Hey, thanks, Melody.
Hey, I'm so excited, and I see so many beautiful faces. Comment below if you're watching this to just ask some questions, because at the end of the video, we're going to be actually just pulling in some of those questions as they come in. So I am going to be asking some really quick questions, and in these questions, I'd love for you to just answer, and again, just remind yourself to say, hey, I am so-and-so, and just give people a quick rundown of who you are. I see we also have another unannounced guest in the background, a cute little dog.
Benny and Piper.
Yes, so cute. I love it. And you know what? It's always so fun to see when other guests arrive, like family or dogs, because sometimes we just need a little friends in the office to help us.
They're just part of the brand.
Exactly. There you go. On brand, Sarah.
Yes.
So I want to start us off with talking a little bit more about pricing. Pricing can be a really critical part of creating a profitable membership, especially for folks that are looking to scale their services or looking to grow their product-based business or physical business, like a brick and mortar store. So looking at pricing options, if you're a coach or a consultant that maybe offers a service or you help people with their coaching programs, how do you know how to price your membership to achieve your revenue goals? And we'll just bring this up and anyone can answer. I know that, Marissa, you have some really good thoughts on pricing, and I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, I mean, I typically recommend to any business owner, whether they have a membership or not, is to actually take a look at what is the amount of money they need to bring in to keep their business thriving, to keep themselves thriving. I find what a lot of business owners do, well, they'll say, I'm going to start a membership and it's going to be $19 a month. And when you actually add up how many members you need at $19 a month to get to your monetary goals, that involves a lot of marketing, which can cost a lot of money. People don't realize how much marketing can actually cost if you're going to build a really healthy, resilient business. And it can eat away quickly at your profit margin. So when we talk about revenue versus profit, revenue is the amount of money that you sold in total. Profit is actually what's the takeaway after all of your expenses and operating costs have been paid. So when you think about, your time, your energy, not just in running the membership, but setting up the membership, working with the members, answering their questions, responding to email, putting marketing, all that stuff out, a $19 membership quickly becomes actually more of a cost eater in your business. So what we want to do is we want to take that number of what it costs for you to thrive and for your business to thrive. You want to take into account how many people you need to hire to help you run these kind of enterprises, and then create a membership at that price point. So instead of creating the membership with all the stuff in it and then assigning a price, take a look at the price point you actually need in order to create income in your business, and then build out the product at the audience, to the audience that will get you there.
And I think that's really a critical piece, Marissa. And we've talked on a previous podcast episode all about the specifics around looking at your profit margins in your business. And those revenue goals can be very hard to pick out if you don't know what your goals are and how to price your business packages like a membership accordingly. Does anyone else have any other takes on pricing their membership if you have an existing membership, or if you actually help other membership owners in their marketing?
Hi, I'm Lara, launch and systems strategist. So yeah, just to piggyback off of what Marissa said, I help people run launch strategies, and a lot of times, going back to what y'all were talking about, is people set up goals, but they're not actually based on any real numbers. So you want to make sure that, just like I would do with someone in a launch when we're looking at their budget, like same thing for your membership, you want to look at what are the hard costs associated with launching your membership and running it, like Marissa said. So what softwares are you using? What team do you have supporting you? And how much is that going to cost you on a monthly basis? Or are there, other recurring costs that are going to, that you're going to take into account? Are you hiring a consultant like Melody to help you with your curriculum development and things like that? So you want to definitely consider those things. And then also, a lot of people use memberships as a stepping stone to an upsell or cross sell. So you can consider, when in your pricing, what other cross sells are you doing with people, because that will contribute to your profit margins as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that pricing is really critical, and it really depends on how it's positioned in your business in terms of, is it a stepping ladder to another program? Is it a stepping stone to a one-on-one offer? Is it an aftercare option for an agency owner, a service provider, a coach, or a consultant? So there's a lot of ways to think about it. And I talk a little bit more about that inside of an upcoming training series that I have called Magical Memberships, where we go over people, products, and pricing, where we cover some of the most common types of pricing, like annual, monthly, or quarterly. And so there's a lot of different ways to go about it. And it really is based off of what your income goals are. So I love that you shared that. So I do have a couple of other questions that I'd love to just ask specifically around marketing. And right now we're on video. And I was just saying to some of the ladies as we were getting ready for this live stream that this is the first time that I put on makeup in about a month. And I'm super stoked because it's really awesome to finally feel fresh and excited to be on camera again. And, there's a lot of marketing that goes involved into marketing a membership or any parts of your business. But for those of you who are using video in your marketing for your membership or for your business, can you tell me what have you seen really work for you in terms of video marketing, short form video, live stream video, any type of video marketing that you've seen really work for you or your clients?
Yeah, I'll chime in on this. I'm Sarah. I am a social media strategist that specializes in TikTok marketing, but really this applies to any kind of short form video. So my membership is really for the TikTok audience, like people that kind of just find you, really enjoy what you're doing, and it's kind of like a no-brainer, let me keep learning from this person. And so what I'm finding is working really well on video marketing is storytelling. And I feel like that's almost becoming such a buzzword in the online business space, but it's really not as complicated as people make it out to be. And how I like to kind of like relate this to my clients, my customers, is like when you're storytelling, like take an endpoint in life and an endpoint in business that feels the same and loop them together. And that's for like your talking videos. And when I'm doing my talking videos, I'm able to talk about like my client wins from the membership. I'm able to talk about the features of the membership. I'm able to show them what the platform is going to look like, because sometimes just saying you have a membership is very ambiguous. People want to know, like, what does it look like? Where do I find it? How do I enter it? And so like showing it on video is such a concrete way of for people to be like, yep, I could see myself doing that. That's what I need.
I love the storytelling aspect that you were sharing, Sarah, because I think one of the key things is that no matter where you're posting this content, sharing those stories, whether in short form or in live stream or in visual graphics, there's so many ways to repurpose that as a testimonial. And emails, like for instance, would be a great way to showcase that as a way to market your membership. Dr. Jackie, Marissa, Sam, anyone else want to pitch in terms of using video to showcase and market your membership?
Yeah, definitely with ads. Like I love running videos with ads, obviously. It builds such more of a connection than just still images. So like for our clients, I'm always like, yeah, definitely shoot a video. And then also if you're doing like a launch webinar or something like that, you can take pieces of that webinar and put them out to ads. Sometimes we'll even have clients do their whole replay out on ads, and you can get people to watch the entire thing for super cheap. So it's uh, definitely something to take advantage of, especially when you're in launch, when you're in a launch, but also like to engage your current members. So that people don't think about this as well, but like taking parts of the content that you have and you can feed that out to your members so they're reminded to go back into your membership, because as we know, retention is so important, and you can use ads to get better retention numbers as well. So
I love that. And I think that when it comes to using the videos and just breaking up and repurposing it in a way that's going to provide people with a visual representation of what they get. Like one of the videos that I like to do for any course that I create is actually a what's included, what's inside video. And I normally include that on a video on the sales page. I've done that for like small templates, and I've done that for larger programs. And using that video to post on other platforms like a live stream video or doing a video on a Facebook page to show people. That's really great for people who are thinking, maybe I just want to do a retargeting ad for people who have seen the sales page, but I don't actually they haven't actually purchased. So you're kind of following people at different stages of awareness, and you're showing them, hey, you were interested in this. I want to just put this in front of you. Is this something that you'd like to purchase or join? So lots of different ways to video. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, I want to jump in with, so we have heard things all throughout our careers as, especially for me as a marketer. I remember being in college about 10 years ago, and somebody in my ads class or my professor said that we need 8 touches before someone purchases. And this is back when mailers and TV ads, etc. And it was in the context of like, are you going to buy Trident layers? We don't live in that world anymore. And now the numbers are as high as saying 70 touches before someone purchases from you. So what we want to think about is how can we shorten that runway by having more impactful touches? Because the more impactful your touches are, the better. And video is a huge way to do that, to become a real person and make what your service, your product, your however your offer really tangible for people, is for them to see it in action and to see you in action. So video, even if you're not confident on video, I just wanted to put it out there of like, get confident on video, because otherwise you're going to spend a lot more time doing other things, because it's been proven time and time again that the more personal your touch is, i.e. literally either video or if you're out there actually shaking hands with people, that's what's going to make an impact, and that's what's going to be memorable for the people who end up buying from you.
Yeah, there's a lot of different touch points. I think what you touched on, Sam, is really important. And I actually had somebody post on Facebook, Kayla. Thanks so much for sharing. Kayla said, makes sense. I read a study put out on GoToWebinar that something like over 60% of people watch webinar replays rather than watching them live. So really interesting statistic. And Kayla, thanks so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. So I do think that when it comes to marketing, there's a lot of different avenues to take. And some people don't prefer to use video. There are ways that you can utilize a no-face approach to your videos. I know, Sarah, that you've actually shared some product face ideas for TikTok or Reels, and that you can use if you have a product-based business, an e-commerce business. So you want to think about ways that you can highlight what it is that you're doing. It doesn't always necessarily mean that it will be your face. But if you're a personal brand, like a coach, consultant, or service provider, definitely there is a perk to that. Okay, Facebook ads. We've talked really briefly about it. If anyone has used Facebook ads, I know, Jackie, you do that very well. You've talked briefly about how you utilize that for your clients, for your agency. Is there anything that you can share about what specifically worked? You specifically mentioned webinars, but have you ever helped people maybe with challenges or freebie funnels or tripwires that maybe have helped people to get more folks in the door, or at least in the funnel for the membership, and start talking about what you've seen worked and what didn't?
Yeah, so I've done all of those. So yeah, everything above. But I think everything works, right? Like everything works. The beauty about ads are that they give you so much data. So it's really about testing and figuring out what works and looking at the data. So we get so much more data than you do when you're doing things organically. So that's beautiful because you can know what copy is working, what creative's working, the videos, like we were talking about, like how much of the videos are they watching, all that good stuff. But I really think it's important whether you're launching a membership or a course or anything really, to look at the entire marketing ecosystem. So not just throwing out ads to your webinar and then that's it. So you want to be growing a massive secret list is what I call. So you do that through video. So you can retarget people who've watched a percentage of the video. We know they're kind of interested in what you're talking about. And you can do that cheap, right? So we know they're interested, and video views don't cost a lot to throw ads to. You also want to be growing your list all the time, whether you're in launch or not launch. Have list growing ads out so that when you are doing a launch, or if it's evergreen membership, you constantly have people to sell to. And then of course, like the retargeting and omnipresence, staying on top of mind to not only the people that you want to convert into your membership, but also don't forget about your current members, because if you're showing up in their feed constantly, they're way more likely to actually get into your membership and consume your content. And then they're more likely to stay and retention numbers to be really good. So that's kind of, yeah.
And I think that there's definitely a benefit of helping people who are your members be aware more of the content. It's a good reminder because we can show up in an inbox and on Instagram and then they will definitely consume the content, but we want to encourage that engagement and help that engagement stay, because as both you and Sarah were saying, retention is really important when it comes to getting people to stay in your membership, and it is actually more profitable in the long run because you actually spent money, time, and energy in getting people in the door. And so we want to keep them in if they're actually seeing some value and encouraging them to ask good questions. Okay, great. So let's talk about email marketing. Speaking of funnels and email marketing, there's a crap ton of content that you have to share to get people aware of your product, get them aware of all of the frequently asked questions that they might have, some answering of key objections that they have for their membership, and whether or not your membership is going to be the right fit for them and their goals. What have you seen work in terms of email marketing? What has helped your clients or yourself market your membership using email marketing? Anyone can answer this. I know, Sam, you have some really good tips on some copywriting, so I'd definitely call you out.
Yeah. I'll start. Again, I'm a copywriter. I've written for a ton of launches, and a lot of those launches are either courses or memberships. So I'm super familiar in this space. I'm also familiar with the trends, but I'll come back to that. I want to highlight first what was just said a couple of minutes ago about Facebook ads that's similar with emails is the data that becomes available to us when we experiment. And I'm going to share some best practices, but the most important thing that happens with your first launch, your second launch, with every launch is that you get to gather data points and you get to understand who is my audience, what do they respond to. So what I'm going to say is like what I've seen in general, but if your audience responds to really long emails, send really long emails. If your audience responds to really short emails and that's what they're clicking through on, then do that. So, and that kind of first best practice, what I've been seeing recently is that short emails are getting clicked through at a much higher rate than the longer emails that we typically see. People don't need you to copy and paste your whole sales page into an email for that email to be effective. Most people are spending 20 seconds or less on a single email. So, second best practice is we want to make it skimmable, which means bold headers, potentially different colors. We're not trying to make it like rainbow fish out here, but like if your header, if you're saying there's 3 hours left to join this membership at this price, it's okay to put it in purple or whatever. And Also, we want to just see what your audience responds to as far as links or buttons when they're clicking through. And I know that email marketing doesn't feel like fun and sexy and that you don't want to bother your audience by sending too many emails, but experiment with those things, with how long it is, what your formatting is, and how often you're sending emails, also what time of day you're sending emails. I get an email from this woman who's in Australia at like 3 o'clock every morning. So by the time I check my email at 9 o'clock, she's already buried. And I always think it's so weird. I'm like, why is she emailing me at 3 in the morning? Or I don't, not every morning, but when she sends emails, they go out at 3 in the morning. And it's like, I'm not her primary audience. Her primary audience is in Australia, and that's okay. Um, so yeah, try different things, look at the data, and see what's working for your audience because you can listen to a guru all day tell you what to do, but ultimately your unique audience is going to respond to things differently than someone else's.
And I just want to jump in real quick because she brought up so many good points. And you can use, like, if you use the data from your email and an email is good really well, you can take that same email, like the content, the copy, and put it in an ad, and you can get 100% of your email list to see it. So that's the thing. Like when email is awesome, but we know 20% is a great open rate. But if with you,
Yes.
you can put it in the ad and you can get almost everyone to see it. It's on your list. So.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel. Repurpose those words.
Yeah, 100%. Love that.
And I think it's great too because what we're talking about is this beautiful ecosystem because we have this beautiful membership which we want people to engage with and connect with, but we want new members to come and join us, and we want our existing audience to also consume. I had a good chat with someone who was talking to me about podcasting, and that what they were saying was, I got really frustrated because my podcast listeners weren't growing. What instead I thought it was supposed to be attracting new audience members. It was actually nurturing my existing audience and customers. And so what they were doing is using it as another way to learn and get the information. So I think it's really important to kind of think through, okay, we have people that are in our audience, they're interested in our products or at least interested in the topic that we're talking about. We want to get them on this customer journey that's going to bring them closer to that buying button if it's a good fit for them, right? And then we're going to support them in an ongoing way in a membership so that they can continue to engage and get them that support. And we can use email marketing to look at the data. We can repurpose our content from our organic posting on short form video like TikToks and Reels. We can populate that into an ad as well. And then we can also use some of the data on emails to look at clicks and open rates and changing the different times and the different types of content that we're sharing on email marketing. And I think it's really important, like you said, Sam, to kind of look at experiment, what's actually working. You never know until you start actually trying and looking at the numbers and data. And I'm a big nerd with that. Okay, speaking about operations of a membership, there's actually a lot that goes into planning out the launch, the beginning part of the process to get people aware of your membership. It can be really, really exhausting. I'm going to be honest for people who are just starting out. If you don't have a plan, and maybe you have maybe one or two critical team members, maybe you're an agency owner, a service-based business owner, you have an OBM, a operations manager, or maybe you have a virtual assistant, maybe you're just starting off on yourself. How do you maximize your launch plans to make the most ROI? I'm going to actually ask Lara, do you have any tips for people who are maybe looking to create a launch plan for their membership and don't know exactly where to start?
Yeah, I mean, I think the very first thing is to have a plan, is to create a plan. Don't go just flying by the seat of your pants. Like, actually sit down, think about what your goals are, what is the purpose of the membership, where does it fit into the ecosystem of your business, and plan around that. And if you do have a team, I'm a huge proponent of bringing your team into the planning process. A lot of people plan everything on their own and then they kind of like hand it down to their team. If you have team members that may have worked on other teams where people have been launching memberships, or they themselves have gone through a funnel and purchased a membership, they can give you different perspectives and things that you may not think about, because when you're in it, you can only see things sometimes from one perspective. So getting your team members in on the planning process is really supportive. And then I'm a proponent of this for any launch strategy, whether you're launching into a membership or not, is like less is more. You don't want to like put all your eggs in one basket, quote unquote. And when you have like too many different client attraction strategies, or you're doing too many different things, sometimes you can get really stretched thin. Like you said, Melody, like it can be exhausting, right? So instead of focusing and spreading your energy and attention across like too many things, choose like a few really key strategies that you research and you think are going to work really well, and execute them very well. And really, put your best effort. Look at the data. Again, huge. I love looking at data. So when you're all talking about email data and Facebook ads data, I love to hear that. So looking at your data and then using that to make decisions throughout your launch to shift things when you see like something's not working, or it's not working the way that you thought it was, or something's working really well. Maybe you want to put a little bit of more energy and effort from you and your team behind that. So planning, make sure you come up with a plan, include your team, and focus on a few key strategies and execute them really well.
Yeah, and if anyone is watching this live stream, feel free to just comment in the sections below. I'm posting this here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, all the places. So I will want to make sure that we circle back to those questions at the end. Or if you have a comment to share, something that you've seen really works for you and your team when it comes to launching or creating a membership, we'd love to hear it from you as well. So I really love what you said, Laura, because it's really important to look at the data, and you can't accumulate data until you actually start, right? So if you're just starting out, you're going to start and try something. Maybe you're going to see something working really well and phenomenal. Maybe there's going to be parts of it that didn't go so great, right? So one of the key things that we need to think about is when it comes to your strategy is really, again, thinking about the customer journey. We need leads to come in. By leads, prospects, potential clients, whatever you want to call them. We just want people to be aware and to learn more. Then you have your middle of the funnel part where you're talking more about your product. You're getting them interested in at least what it is that you have to offer at the end, and then helping them get to the buying process and delivering on that promise. And so, like you said, Laura, what we want to do is actually create a way so that we can see, where are we not really working? Is it the lead generation part? Where are we not winning? Is it, okay, people are coming in, but they're not converting? Is there something wrong with my offer? Are we not getting clear on what is the outcome of this program? Is there something that, in terms of the objections, we really haven't talked about in terms of the copywriting? So all of these things really come into play, and you really have to have a crystal clear offer or a membership in order to actually sell it, so that all of this marketing stuff that we're talking about will really, really start to work. When we have a concrete offer, everything can fall into place afterwards. Your marketing, your messaging, the way you deliver it, right? We want to have a lot of fun with that. So super good tips that you shared, Laura, and I think it's really important to think about that. Okay, so I know
Melody.
yes, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just to encourage everyone, like you literally cannot have a failed launch, because if you, no matter what happens, if you look at the data and like you were just saying, adjust things, and you're going to improve over time. So don't put so much pressure on yourself if you didn't get, 1,000 members out of the gate. You can't fail. You're going to, as long as you use the data and use that data to make tweaks as necessary. So go
I
ahead.
like that what you said about not failing, because I think when it comes to, if you look at the price point per member, okay, so if you have a low ticket offer like a $7 membership, or by low ticket I'm just referring to anything under $100, right? So I'm saying, okay, you have this lower price mid-tier membership and people are interested in the membership, they just don't know if it's the right fit for them. So you're answering all these questions. And so if someone says to me, Melody, I want to get 100 members in the door. Okay, well, I want to look at a number of things. Like, number one, how big is your audience? What is the social connections that you have? And then let's talk about offline, right? Because you can sell offline too. If you're a brick and mortar business, you can go to a place like your small business association or a local networking place where you can say, hey, I have this membership. Case in point, I love this one place that I go get my nails done at. And Trina, she's my favorite nail lady. Like, I love her to death. And we talk about like real stuff. Like, I'm telling you, I have a good friendship with my nail lady. And so they actually have a membership at that salon. And so the membership gives you exclusive privileges and discounts on services. So you are paying double, but you get discounts, right? And so we're very familiar with that kind of model. But when it comes to online memberships, you want to start thinking outside of the box. Like, you have to look at what is it that you're really good at? How can we package and productize this? And then how do we look at, we want to get, okay, X amount of members in the door. How many people do we need to start into the funnel? How many people do we need to connect with offline? How many people do we want to connect with in terms of your referral partners? If you have an affiliate program, like, this stuff lights me up. I get so excited about it, and I hope that other people do too. Okay. Yes, and Laura, you shared something really great. You said there is no such thing as a failed launch, only learning. We want to always learn from our launches, friends, and that's really what it's all about. Okay, so
And can I just chime in really quick
yes.
about encouraging people? If you don't have a team, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have an email sequence set up or a sales page, because that was me. I totally made this because I had a huge audience base that needed it. And I figured out everything on the fly. And now my membership is like my most favorite offer. And now my customer experience is definitely like much better. But you can really just, if you have an audience base for it, you can figure it out. You do not need to have a perfect sales page in place. You do not need to have a Thrive Cart membership right off the bat. Like, you can 100% figure it out. And so, like, if any of this is like scared you, like funnels and sequences, and you can absolutely have a profitable membership uh if you have the audience base for it and you're willing to learn.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. Like, I have been following you, Sarah, for a while on TikTok, and I see the awesome stuff that you're sharing, and I'm aware of your membership. And we were talking back in, I think it was December, when I had you in my 25 days of deals. I was like, yes, TikTok tea,
Yeah.
that's so awesome, and I have a friend, and I'm going to be interviewing Liz Wilcox. So if you're watching this and you're like, I really want to hear from people who have grown a membership, I have an interview with a friend of mine who has an incredible membership, and she just got started selling Google Docs as templates, literally just through email. Okay. So she had like a folder in a G Drive, and she was sharing that, and people were giving her money, right? So it's not about how fancy it is, as long as the offer is clear and we have a clear outcome of what people are going to get when they join. Like you said, we don't have to have the flashy funnels. We don't have to have all the automated sequences. We don't have to have big launches. And that's what I often tell people who are just starting out. Okay, what are your assets, right? Like, do you have colleagues that would be interested in this offline, right? We don't have to be, okay, if you have 100 people on your email list, do you really want to send them like 50 emails? Like, okay, you could probably do like maybe 5 to 10 emails. That's realistic, but do you really need to stress yourself out when you're launching next week and you don't have your emails written? Couldn't you rather just focus on the people that are already aware of you and the coolness that you are? Reach out to those people first, then you can go do all that stuff. Then you can build out the beautiful sales page. Then you can do all the fun and beautiful marketing automations and sequences. Once you have your founding members, you can start building out all of this ecosystem, like all the funnels, and start building up the ads. Like, validate your offer first. Like, literally, like, I just think it's so important for people to realize that you do not have to have all that flashy stuff. Because I see a lot of these ads pop up like, oh, you need to reach 100K in less than 5 minutes, and you don't have to have an audience, and we'll put up your ads for you. And yeah, you can build up a secret list. And I think audience building is really important, but people don't realize that you don't have to have that flashy funnel on the front end. If you have a clear offer, if you can showcase your experience, and then you have an audience that's interested, then you can build it up over time. So, really important for people. Yes, Lara said, my sales page was a Google Doc. Exactly. And personal connections and partnerships are really critical. Like you said, Lara, just posting what you said on Facebook here onto the stream. Running your first course launch through personal connections and partnerships in a very small part of your email list. Yeah, so you don't have to have hundreds or thousands of people on your email list. You can do things offline that will really actually make a big dent and actually help you achieve your revenue goals. Love this. This is my favorite part. Okay, so membership stories. For those of you who have a membership, Marissa, I'm looking at you. I'm part of Marissa's membership. It's so phenomenal. What made you want to create a membership? And then what has changed for you in terms of your flexibility on your calendar? Have you seen any new opportunities come up as a result of your membership? Like more time, more energy, more income? Like, tell me all the details. Spill, as Sarah would say, all the tea.
Yeah, well, we can get right into this. To be honest, I was in the process of burning down my whole entire business. I was burnt out from doing VIP days and one-to-one sessions, and I could see that I wasn't quite creating an impact that I wanted to in the business world, not just with my clients, but there's a lot of pressure to show up and be like, okay, I got to fill 60 minutes or 90 minutes or 3 hours because I bought this space. But what if you only need 10 minutes or 15 minutes? What if you just need to come in and be supported? What if you just need to have somebody beside you while you're on help desk? And when we're running a business, we're not always in this aspirational mindset of coaching. Sometimes we just have to get the thing done. And so I was just like, this isn't working. And I really wanted to explore the opportunity of creating a membership, a community that would grow, that could be about being there in the moment. So it wasn't like waiting for my waiting for my coaching session on Monday at 1:00. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't figure out how to set up this funnel, or oh my gosh, I need the words, it's not coming, or what's my landing page, and people could hop in. So I have to admit, you were talking about like low tech membership starting. I literally put out on Facebook, was like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this thing. Anybody interested? And I had no idea what it was going to look like. I had a rough idea. So, my offer was probably not that clear. We had 67 people that were like, yeah, this sounds vague and amazing. And I had a really good price point, and it was great because what I did was I didn't go into it with all the expectations of what the membership was supposed to be like and look like and sound like. And then I let the members help develop it. So we do say that it's community led. And now I look back, like we're now at 15 months later, 16 months later, and my life is completely different. I have so much more relaxation time, even though I seem to be working more, because we have these all day co-working days where people can come in and at any time and get help and support. It's so relaxing for me because I don't have to be there for an appointment. We don't have to cram in all this stuff into 60 minutes, or we don't have to fill a 60-minute container. People come in and out and get support. And so when I still look at it, is it high tech, or do we have all the bells and whistles in place? Heck no. But what we are doing is we're building this really incredible opportunity for people to come in on a membership. So we focus on yearly memberships. We do have a few people coming in at monthly, but we focus on that yearly membership because what it does is it allows people to build out their business for a year. So think about this too, even in your offers and your pricing. What is the message that you're saying to people who you want to be in that space? Who do you want to be in there, and what are they, prepared to do in order to be in that space? And I think that's really important. Sometimes we're just like, you two were talking about, like, your audience, you just want to get 1,000 people in all of a sudden. Well, no, maybe you don't, right? Allowing for that slow build, allowing for that community-led development to really help you define your offer and really help you define what that space is going to be like. It doesn't have to be creating content every month. It doesn't have to be doing all these things. It can actually be a low-tech offer.
Yeah. I really was one of the first people that joined Marissa's membership because I had been following Marissa for, I don't know. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 years. And I really enjoyed hearing all of your insights, the personality that you bring, and the actual clarity that you bring for your marketing and for your members, and the heart too. There's a ton of heart that you put into it, and I really appreciate that. Victoria asked, "What is Marissa's membership?" It is the Create the Rules Catalyst. It's amazing. Everyone should check it out. And it's incredible. And there's so many other people that have memberships that are maybe a cookie cutter. I've been seeing a lot of these ads these days that are like, just grab and swipe my, membership type. And yeah, that does fill a hole in the market. But the fun thing that I love about Marissa's membership is that it doesn't really fit that cookie cutter, and it's really kind of fun, right? Because you can really make it however you want. What do you want to design in your day? How do you want to work with clients? What lights you up inside? And for Marissa, there's a really cool way that she does that through the way that she shows up for the co-working rooms and the kinds of events that she shares. Okay, we are going a little bit over time, but I feel like we're having such great fun. Does anyone else have any stories that they want to share about their membership and what it's meant for them? I know there's a few people that actually have memberships that would like to share. So I'll popcorn. Who wants to go?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's the beauty of life.
Go ahead. You go first. I'll go second.
I've had a membership since 2018, and so what I did was when I launched it, I just dripped it out, and I highly suggest doing that as well. Don't create all your content until you sell the membership. But now it's all built out, and I literally work. I do we do implementation hours like every week. It's 3 hours, and that's pretty much all I have to do. It's almost passive. So all I want to say is it's a great model. So I'm glad that you're helping people to build their memberships because it's such a great model. And now, of course, I have a lot of other things going on. I'm actually about to launch my second membership, but yeah, I love the model. And once you put it, it's a lot of work on when you're starting it, but after it's started, it's running. It becomes not much work and it becomes really fun. So
Yeah. And it is, and that's the way you've built it, right? Because I think one error that I see is that people will build themselves too much in the membership, especially if they're like promising, okay, I'm going to like send you an email every single week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and it becomes this really overwhelming, obligation, and they end up not really liking it if they're not focused on member acquisition, or they're not actually having the team support the ongoing operations of the membership. Sam?
Yeah, I have a very similar story to how I started my membership. It was a good idea. It was a twinkle in my eye on a Wednesday afternoon. By Friday, I had thrown together a Google Docs sales page and sent it to 12 people. 7 of them had signed up by Monday morning. And that's how I beta launched my membership. It was Google Docs and Google Forms. My membership is that I review people's copy from top to bottom. From, okay, I have an idea, I'm launching, what copy do I need? I tell them what copy they need. I do everything but write it for them. Tell them what they need, give them reviews once they've written it. It's all about that confidence when it comes time to post or publish or whatever your copy. And nearly everyone who had the bandwidth for a membership said yes. And like I said, it was not fancy. It was not fancy. So yeah, just reiterating that it's interesting that we have a similar story of like I was doing VIP days. I'm still doing VIP days, but it's all about like, how can I take these long projects and then move them into VIP days, and then take these other problems that I see people having and create this membership to solve those problems. It was just a snowball effect of how can I continue to answer people's questions in a way that is super, super streamlined for them.
Yeah, for sure. And Victoria says, obsessed with TikTok tea. Yes, that is awesome. I'm so glad to hear it. So, I want to also make sure that I ask people some questions and make sure that I give a chance for people to share what they're up to. So, let's go ahead and just go around. How can people get in touch with you? What's new in your world? How can people follow up with you? We'll go around. Let's start first with you, Dr. Jackie. How can people get in touch with you? How can they learn more about what it is that you have to offer?
Yeah, I would love to connect with anyone on my personal Facebook page. That's actually where I connect the most, and where I'm most present besides in my ads. You can also go to drjackienolke.com and figure out stuff there. I'm launching soon a program called the Confetti Club. That's A to Z launching strategies, ads, all of that good stuff. And we have like an online campus to get together and like party together and all that. But yeah, I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. DM me and I'll help you guys out. Thanks so much for having
Perfect.
me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, Sam, Laura, and then Marissa, where can people find more out about you? And then if you have an offer to share, like anything that we've talked about, you can go ahead and share about that.
Yeah, sure thing. You can best find me on Instagram at nomad.copy. I keep my personal Facebook personal, so kind of the opposite as Dr. Jackie. Um, yeah, and currently Copy and Demand is being worked on. So my site is down until mid-March. So just be sure to follow along on Facebook, reach out, or sorry, on Instagram, and DM me if it's something that you're interested in, and I'll make sure that I reach back out in March when it's ready to go.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'll make sure to send out some links for folks that are catching the replay. All right, Lara, any tips? Where can people find you and get to know more about you?
Yeah, I'm super active on my personal Facebook as well. And so I work specifically with people that have experience launching and are and have a small team that's supporting them launching. And I have a course coming up that is going to help people that have been through that process before and now want to like dial it in, make sure they're like optimizing what they're doing, they're organized, they're systematized. So that will be posted on my personal Facebook if anybody's interested in checking that out. And Melody has shared a freebie with you for team. If you have a team, how to make sure that you're leveraging your team well as part of your launching process. So that I think will be included with the replay. So
Yes,
thanks
yes,
for
and
having me.
absolutely. And I'll make sure if you're not on my email list, feel free to join. I'm gonna share some ways that you can do that in just a minute. But Marisa, I want to just make sure that we get people who aren't aware of the Catalyst or what you're up to can get in touch with you or see what you're up to these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Wherever you're messaging or wherever you're seeing this live, feel free to send me a message if you want to get a hold of me. Otherwise, createtherules.com/catalyst if you want to come join our incredible live virtual co-working rooms and get support all year long. We are a fun group of people. We are definitely growing, and it's just an opportunity for you to come in and just be nourished and supported in all the stages of your business. Melody is one of the most incredible members we have. She's put so much time in there. But definitely do check out Melody's membership as well, because we are so excited to see her grow. And if you want to see Melody, I'm going to put in a little plug here. If we want to see Melody and hear more about how Melody is creating recurring revenue, we have a live talk on the second Wednesday of March that is all about recurring revenue. And we're going to be showcasing Melody's incredible content and knowledge and skills. So please do check it out at createtherulesevents.com.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, this has just been so much fun, y'all. Thank you so much for having me. Quick shameless plug. If you are interested in creating a membership and you're not exactly sure where to start, next week, starting February 20th, I am running the Magical Memberships Challenge. And if you grab this VIP ticket, you're going to get access to live sessions with me for 5 days. I'm going to be going over all the steps that you need to put together to create a magical membership that's low effort for you, high value for your members, that grows your peaceful profits in your business. And if you're a service-based business owner, coach, or consultant, and you've been itching and wanting to create this membership, head on over to this URL, thecourseconsultant.com/mm. That's thecourseconsultant.com/mm. You can grab access to the magical memberships. You'll get on-demand access to all the replays, plus live access to me, co-working sessions, and Voxer group is included. It's only $47. You'll want to grab it before next week. Plus, there's some really cool stuff I'm doing next week, and that is amazing. Tori Autumn, my own copywriter, is going to be doing live copy critiques for all the sales pages, marketing assets that you need to put together to pre-sell your membership or to sell more of your membership. You can join us live. We'll be doing that next Friday, February 24th, but that's only available for those folks that are joining us in the VIP tickets. You can still watch us live, you just won't get your copy reviewed. And so I highly, highly, highly recommend you head on over to grab your seat for the VIP tickets at thecourseconsultant.com/mm, happening February 20th, 2023, but you can still access the on-demand version if you're catching this replay long after that. Well, that's it for today's session. Thank you so much for watching today's live panel on falling in love with your membership. I'm Melody, your host, founder of The Course Consultant. I'm here talking all about memberships with all the lovely panelists. And if you want to get the replay, make sure to just say replay in the comments. I'm going to go and make sure that I personally reach out to you and give you a link for the replay, plus all the freebies that I was talking about. I'm going to put it live up on my site. So make sure that you say replay in the comments so I can send that over to you. Thank you again for watching it. That's it for today's session. I hope that you can join me next week at Magical Memberships Challenge and that you have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll talk with you later. Thanks so much.